Are you ready for your final comedian of the evening? You're gonna love him. He has his own comic book. He headlined in Staten Island last night. Please give it up for Joseph James.
Thank you, Randy. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Oh, this is for you, Joseph.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I fell off the stage here once and almost died. That's good stuff. Which tonight that part, I'm actually all whacked out on DayQuill and wine and coffee myself, so it should be an interesting evening. I told Randy to say that because I headlined the show in Staten Island last night, but then when I heard her say it, I was like, why the hell did I tell her that? It doesn't really sound like a really flattering thing, but I'm from Staten Island. Are you guys from Jersey? Okay, I guess we established that 3 hours ago. But as you could tell, I'm a big fat guy. I was in denial about being fat until I caught myself giving directions using fast food places as landmarks. I was like, go down to McDonald's, make a left at the Taco Bell. I say get the Popeyes. My cholesterol's 150 over bacon. The lights are hot up here. I'm sweating like rerun trying to bootleg a Doobie Brothers concert up here. This guy's looking at me like, what is this lesbian up there talking about? Don't eat KFC though. That's what I came here to tell you guys. It's not even real. It's like mutated chickens. But I stopped eating KFC a long time ago, and I took a bite into a chicken sandwich, and it tasted like cat food. Why, you guys never tried cat food? Come on, really? I didn't know this was gonna be a sophisticated crowd. So, I don't like whenever you try to lose weight. I try to cut down on desserts and stuff, and people always give me shit about it because it's always somebody's birthday, and it's insulting if you don't eat their birthday cake. And then they say stuff like, "Oh, just have some self-control. You can just have one piece of cake. You can just have one piece of cake." No, I can't. I can't just have one piece of cake, or else I'd be able to fit into an extra large T-shirt. I'm not saying I want to like lose weight and be ripped or anything. I just want to fit into a B cup. I'm sick of being a C cup. And McDonald's had parents were emailing McDonald's a while back, and they were complaining that they wanted them to ban the toys in the Happy Meals because they were making kids too fat. They didn't want to ban the cheeseburgers and fries; those weren't making kids fat. But let me tell you something: if you're a parent and you're feeding your children the toys, you're a horrible parent that should take your children away immediately. I'm thinking about changing that joke to go ahead, feed your kids the toys. Probably the most healthy thing on the McDonald's menu. So, from Staten Island. One thing I learned from living on Staten Island my whole life is that possums want to die. There, you always see them dead on the street. There's a lot of woods in Staten Island, and for some reason the possums can't just stay in the woods here. They have to cross the street and go in the woods there. Like there's a possum Costco across the street. They really need to pick up something there. But possums I could prove that possums want to die. They're the only animals that do improv and pretend they're dead. Before humans evolved and invented cars, possums just had to sit around and wait until an animal that was higher up than them in the food chain came and ate them and killed them. But now they had to wait all that time. I don't really like to get all cocky about my position in the food chain, because if you think about it, we're not really as high up as we think we are. We're thinking at the top of the food chain. But there's like mites and stuff like eating you, all mosquitoes bite you and stuff. There's like mites in your eyelashes right now with the entire society. There's like a mite in like Lice College jerking off to mite porn. Not you specifically, but like everybody. And, you know, if you're like me, before you came out tonight, you were Googling the movie Terminator. I like on Wikipedia, there's a fact about the movie Terminator that James Cameron wanted to cast OJ as the Terminator, but he didn't think he would be convincing as a killer. I get all obsessed over that picture of Sarah Connor that was taken in the future and then taken at the end of the movie. And Kyle Reese Kyle Reese has that picture. Let me tell you something about Terminator times if you haven't seen Terminator. There's no Maxim or Playboy or Swank or Penthouse or anything like that or Cherry magazine. Don't ask me why I know those magazines. But there was just that one picture of Sarah Connor. You woke up at 5 in the morning, you fought some dogs for scraps, you fought Terminators all day, and there's a bunch of dudes. That was it. So I wonder, like, he was obsessed with that picture of Sarah Connor. I wonder if the other guys in Platoon were like Kyle, hey, how about we get to borrow the picture of Sarah Connor and jerk off to it this week? You've had it for like a month. Think that ever happened? I don't know. You guys are really looking at me like awkward. This is really an awkward night for me. Awkward like when Patrick Swayze jumped into Whoopi Goldberg's body and made out with Demi Moore in the movie Ghost. I feel kind of like that right now. This is a weird night. This reminds me of the time I was at Universal Studios. I got stuck on the Philadelphia ride. Had to watch Tom Hanks get AIDS for 3 hours. Why did they never ride for that movie? So, like, you know what the difference between New York City girls and Jersey girls are? Is a Jersey girl, a New York girl will get on a ferry, she'll get on a train, a bus, she'll walk to come see you. A Jersey girl, you gotta pick up a Jersey girl at the door! At the door! I had to turn into Chris Rock for a second. Also, like, black preacher kind of character for a second. But I feel sorry for black people because they used to have all cool stuff in this country, right? They used to have like their own public bathrooms, their own public water fountains, their own seats on the bus. They don't have shit anymore. It's like, things are getting bad. I miss the word Oriental. Like, what happened to that? When did that word become politically incorrect? That doesn't even make sense. That's describe people from the Orient. Now you just have to call everybody Asians, which doesn't make sense because there's brown Asians, there's Oriental Asians. So what do you call the Oriental Asians now? Bad drivers. Sir, I can't believe you said that, but thank you. Thanks for helping out. I was thinking about converting to Judaism, not because I believe in that stupid religion, but I have a yarmulke-shaped bald spot in the back of my head, and we'll cover that up perfectly. And yeah, anybody drink beer? Anybody have friends that are like beer snobs? I just drink simple, like commercial piss beer. Like, I drink like Budweiser and Coors Light. My friend was making fun of me. I wasn't drinking fancy enough beer for him, but he was drinking Corona. I was like, Corona's not a fancy beer. That's just Budweiser poured through Mexican people's underpants. I'm a garbage man in my day job because doing comedy in Nutley, New Jersey, down a 200-yard parking lot doesn't really pay the bills in my mom's basement like you'd think it would. People think being a garbage man's easy, but it's hard. It's dangerous. If I take my eyes off the road for like 30 to 40 seconds, I could kill someone. I was working with this really impatient guy once, and he was colorblind. And I was driving, and I got stuck at a light. And then the light changed, and he was like, "Go, go! The light's not getting any grayer!" Oh, good stuff. So, I like to. Anybody from Brooklyn? No, you're all from Jersey. I like working in Brooklyn. I like sweeping the streets in Brooklyn, because the neighborhoods change from block to block. Like, I go from sweeping up yarmulkes and dreidels on this corner, across the street, and I'm sweeping up chicken bones and weaves. You learn a lot about people's cultures by going through their garbage. I think you're supposed to look through people's garbage. I think you're doing the job wrong if you don't, like, spy on people's stuff. And see, I'm wearing my midlife crisis outfit, if you couldn't tell. Like almost 40 with a backwards hat on. It's hard when you go bald because you lose hair here and then you lose hair in the front. So, but you still have that, like, reverse mohawk, and like you have to decide every day if you don't wear a hat, like, do I want to cover this part or this part? Which part do I want to sadly try to cover up? So I'm driving the garbage truck in Brooklyn at like 8 in the morning one day, and these cops just pull over right in front of me in Triple Park, so I can't go anywhere. This lady runs out of her vehicle and runs up to me, and she's like, "Could you please make the cops move? I'm driving a special ed bus and the kids are going to be late for school." I was like, first of all, lady, I'm a garbage man. I can't make the cops do anything. Second of all, doesn't matter what time these kids get to school, really. It's already too late. So, I like, crossing guards are annoying. They're always coming up to me and, like, annoying me with, like, just saying stupid stuff to me. This crossing guard comes up to me one day in Staten Island, and she's like, I have a question. When it rains, this drain fills up with water. I'm like, that's not a question. This guy comes up to me the next day on my route, and he's like, I have a question. Paint cans. Like, not only is that not a question, that's not even a sentence. Oh, I'm dying up here. But I'm fucking melting. Frosted the Snowman. Happy birthday, everybody! So, you guys, a bunch of you guys are in long-term relationships, right? I'm in a long-term relationship, but things are different when you first meet and we first start going out than when you're together for a long time, because when you first start dating, you don't realize that person's full of shit. So my girlfriend in the beginning used to be like, every movie, if she didn't like a movie or she didn't like a TV show I was watching, she was like, oh, I saw this already. Oh, I saw this episode already. Oh, I saw this movie already. And I was like, oh my God, she's seen everything. She's like, cool. This is like, she's into the same stuff I'm into. She's seen everything. But one day I'm watching TV and she's like, oh, I've seen this already. I'm like, this is the Super Bowl. It's on right now. There's no way you could possibly have seen this. And I remember the first time we found out that the Rocky musical had been canceled. She said, you should write a musical about that. But I think she meant you should write a joke about that. But fuck that, I'm writing a musical about that. Dan, 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 dan. Rocky musical suck. Who the fuck made that musical? Dan, 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 dan. There were already 6 movies. Rocky's not supposed to be gay. But you guys ever fall asleep during a movie? Like you go to the movie theater and you fall asleep? That's like an $11 nap, right? You buy popcorn, that's like a $50 nap. I judge everything by if I fall asleep there, that's how much a fucking nap costs. And when we first started going out, I took her to see Phantom of the Opera, the musical, because we both wanted to see it. It wasn't just like a girl dragged me out to see it. I wanted to see it too. But the problem is I wake up like 4 or 5 in the morning for work, and they start playing. They have like playing really soft music and candles, and it's really dark and comfortable. And I kept trying. Like you're falling asleep. You're like, oh, I gotta stay awake. I'm like, oh, they're playing my favorite song, but every song sounded the same to me. It was like, Joe, go to sleep. I lit some real nice candles. Joe, take a nap. Nice and dark and cozy. Fall asleep at Phantom of the Opera, that's like a $350 nap. We went to see Paul McCartney, and there was rain. It didn't rain, but there was rain in the forecast, and I was looking at the back of the ticket, and it was like absolutely no umbrellas. Like, all our freedoms are gone, right? And you know who you blame, right? The terrorists. Know who I blame specifically? No umbrellas. You know who you blame specifically, right? The Penguin, exactly. So we're at Paul McCartney, and at the end of the show, I had to go to the bathroom, and there were about 30 porta potties, and like 15 people waiting online, and I'm no mathematician, people. But I was like, the odds are some of these stalls aren't really full. So I just walk right past the line. Like, there's no way. And they're all, half of them are, there's an old dude, and he goes, this is mass chaos. I used to go to concerts in the 90s where, like, your shoes got ripped off in the mosh pit and, like, you got your nose broken. Like, I don't really think me cutting an empty line. I think people just like to wait in lines. Like, did you guys wait in line for the new iPhone? I wish Apple would invent a watch that would help me get mugged more. You think they could do that? Like, because carrying a credit card is really heavy. I wish I could have like a big stupid computer on my arm that has all my credit card information on it. I don't know. Maybe they could work on that. But yeah, my girlfriend says some weird shit to me sometimes. Like, back to when we first started going out and like, you know, go to shows and go to concerts and dinners and stuff. But eventually you have to do some real shit, right? When you're in a relationship for a long time. Like, I remember the first wake we had to go to. She was like, oh, I'm really nervous. I'm not really a wake person. Like, who the fuck is a wake person? Why would you say that to me? That's like saying I'm not a public bathroom person. But seriously, I'm not a public bathroom person. I don't like that. Let me see. You guys mind if I test some stuff? I want to see if my psychic powers work. You look like a nice young man. Do you want me to tell you how you were conceived? No? Who would like to volunteer? All right, that dude in the back. When's your birthday? June 3rd. Oh, I know when you were conceived. Do you have older brothers or sisters?
I do.
Oh, you were a back to school bang. I was like, oh, we got them out of the house, yeah! That's how you were conceived. I'm right? Exactly right.
I don't even know what that is.
I was an ass baby. That's when you fire a chick in the ass, it drips down and gets in its twat. You know how it gets her pregnant. You know how I figured that out because when I turned 18, my parents showed me the video. So I went to I don't have a joke for this, but I just went to one of those sensitivity training courses at work, and they had they made up this witty, funny questionnaire of multiple choice questions of things you're not allowed to say, and it's like you talk to Steve on the phone, and then you meet Steve in person and realize he's blind. Are you supposed to say, oh, I'll help you upstairs, or I didn't realize you didn't sound handicapped on the phone? But it had things like that, and I wish they wouldn't let us keep it. That's how funny it was. They made us all give it back at the end. It had the word towel head in it, people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, my girlfriend texted me the other day. She's like, I'm watching Animal Hoarders, and these people's house smells disgusting. I'm like, you can smell their house? What kind of TV do we have? The best TV ever. You guys watch sports at all? Oh my God, you guys are I feel like I'm gonna wake right now. So, I like to watch the show Hoarders the way douchebags watch sports. I scream at the TV and shit. I'm like, yeah, throw away your pizza boxes. Yeah, you don't need this. You don't need the newspaper from 20 years ago. Throw away your dead cat skeletons. Now you might want to keep a couple of those. Those are sentimental. But yeah, it's hard being a Mets fan. You guys, it's right. The lady with low self-esteem is cheering me on. It's hard. I can't relate to the Yankees because they're always contending. They're in first place a lot. They make a lot of money. I could relate to the Mets. I feel like I am the New York Mets of stand-up comedy. Every year is a rebuilding year. I peaked in 1986. I had a guy at work. Dude at work, I've been asking him to come to comedy shows for 6 years. He decides to tell me one day about a comedian he saw. I'm like, oh, gee, thanks. That's great that you didn't come see me. Somebody whose name I know from TV, but I'm not going to mention. Bobby Collins. No, I don't know. I don't remember who it was. And I was like, oh, how was he? He's like, oh, he was funny. I'm like, oh, shit, really? I hope nobody describes me with that high voice. Like, oh, I saw Joseph James the other night. Oh, how was he? Oh, he was working on some new material. I know comedy is like a subjective art form. I'm just saying, I hope nobody describes me like that. So, how much money do celebrities need? Because I saw Whoopi Goldberg doing a commercial for adult diapers for women over 50. Apparently, women hit 50 just piss themselves randomly. And the product was called Poise. She was like, now when I piss myself, I do it with poise. Child. Yeah, that was a real commercial. I'm not creative. I just see shit and then just write it down. See shit that happens. So, I don't know if you guys remember the show Cash Cab. That was in New York. All my shit's about New York City. You get in a cab in New York City, you're all of a sudden you're on a game show. They ask you questions, you win some prize, win some money. Sounds cool, right? Well, we all know you shouldn't be texting or talking on the phone while you're driving. You know what else you shouldn't be doing while you're driving? Hosting a game show. Probably dangerous. I think they should make Jeopardy should be in a cab in a moving vehicle. I'll take vehicular manslaughter for $500, Alex. You guys, anybody into music? I like when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has that like little annex that travels around. They came to New York City. If the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame annex comes to your town, go check it out. It's got a lot of cool stuff. But don't try to steal anything from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame annex, because they'll catch you. I was walking out and they're like, "Sir, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Why'd I come in with this?" Like, "Sir, you did not walk in here wearing Prince's jacket for Purple Rain. There's no, how'd you get that tiny black man's jacket to fit you?" I'm like, "Sir, what's that around your neck?" I'm like, "This is my orthodontal headgear." Like, "Sir, that's Bob Dylan's harmonica. Put that back." "Sir, there's no way you rode in here on the motorcycle from Billy Joel's Uptown Girl video wearing Madonna's Bullet Bra from Truth or Dare and a Born in the USA jean jacket. There's no way you came in with that." So I was on the subway with my Grammy. I saw an ad on the subway for discreet abortions. It said Jennifer doesn't want anyone to know she got an abortion. But there's a picture of Jennifer in the ad. It was like, now everyone on the train knows she got an abortion. It's like really weird. I don't know why they would put that there. So, I don't want to have kids, but I get really sentimental when I see kids doing anything that doesn't involve texting. Like, I see kids in the street playing football. I'm like, oh, they're just like playing football, just like we used to do. Like, oh, they're not texting. That's awesome. Oh, look, kids riding bikes just like we used to do. At least they're not texting. It's like, oh, look at those 3 kids beating up the different kid just like we used to do. At least they're not texting, right? Have you guys ever seen, do you guys watch the show Amish Mafia? Oh, wait, did I do that joke already? I probably did. It looks like a cool show. Too bad they can't watch it. So, they have an app for everything now. They have like an app for the movie times. They have an app for the weather. I wish they had an app for the temperature of the movie theater that I'm going to be in, especially in the summer. I want to know, could I wear shorts and a t-shirt like I was walking around that day, or do I have to wear my snowsuit because it's going to be 15 degrees? Did you guys like the movie, did you guys ever walk out on a movie? I wanted to walk out on the movie Man of Steel, but I saw it on an airplane. More like Man of Steel, my $11. So, it's hard doing comedy, and it's hard doing comedy when you're in a relationship. It's hard doing comedy when you're in a relationship with someone who likes margaritas. Because you gotta be at bars and clubs all the time. I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, we're not really on a margarita budget. We're really on like a beer and well-drink budget. And by beer, I mean we can only afford to share a 40 of Old English outside in a paper bag. By well drinks, I mean we can only afford to drink out of a well. So, who wants me to predict how they were conceived? Anybody else? What? So, I like to go to Disney World during Love Bug season. If you don't know what I can hear crickets, like literally crickets. That's awesome. My career's going well. The love bugs, these like ladybugs, just fly around like penetrating each other constantly. And like, what do you tell the kids in Disney World when they ask? Because they're gonna ask, like, oh, what are the love bugs doing? It's like, they're in love. They're holding hands. Like, no, they're fucking. You can tell they're fucking. Kid doesn't even know what that is, and they can tell the love bugs are fucking. And the whole time I was there, I only saw one single love bug. All couples, thousands of pairs of love bugs. Like, you guys know, it sucks when like be the only, all your friends are hooking up and you're the only single one. That sucks, right? Like, you guys are good looking. Like, you guys could go on the internet. You guys, like, guys, you go on MySpace and fuck some fat monster at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like girls, you could go on Craigslist and get raped. The love bugs, the love bugs can't go on plentyoffish.com and type in a profile like, I like long walks on the beach and romantic dinners and fucking on this guy's sweater because they land on you and have sex on you. I'm almost done. I feel like I'm keeping the whole place out. This lady's so traumatized. I'm really sorry, man. Don't worry, it's almost over. So, by headliner is her main oppressor in life. So, I see Mickey Mouse at Character Breakfast, and then I see him 15 minutes later at the Magic Kingdom. Like, I go up to him, I'm like, Mickey, how did you change clothes so fast? And how'd you get here so fast and change clothes so fast? He goes, with a little help from my pal, the devil. My favorite thing about Disney World, and then we could all go home, is my favorite thing about Disney World is little kids crying in Disney World. Because it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, right? I just want to grab a kid by the head and be like, there are cartoon characters singing and dancing in the streets. You can't have a good time here? Where do you think you're going to have a good time? What do you think kindergarten's going to be like? And high school? And college? And living in your mom's basement when you're 38 years old? If you can't have fun here, where can you have fun? At Pat's Place. Thank you. Randy Lupo, your host. Give her a big hand. And all the comedians here tonight. Thank you. Good night.
Give it go for Joseph James!